What's up, Kilted Shenanigans fans? Puddin here with you, and tonight I've got another whiskey to review to go through with you guys. So, if you like bourbons, if you like whiskey, and if you just like Kilted Shenanigans, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So tonight, what I'm going to be going through with you guys is something that it's been around quite a while, and actually. It is produced by a company that I think is kind of underrated and doesn't get talked about a whole lot. But the whiskey that I'm going to be discussing with you guys tonight is Round Creek. Okay, Round Creek. It is made by the Willett distillery, and Willett pot still, which I've got sitting right here, is actually one of my absolute favorite whiskeys. I love the flavor of the Willett pot still. You get some cinnamons and some spiciness out of that, along with a velvet mouthfeel out of it. I've not actually tried Round Creek. Now, Round Creek has been around quite a while. I mean, it came out in the '90s, and I don't know why that I've just never tried it. So, for you guys tonight, going to be a first time try for me. Even though I've been a huge fan of Willett pot still ever since it's been around, I have not actually tried their Round Creek, which has been around longer. So I figured tonight would be a good night for me to try out the Round Creek and let you guys know what I think about that. Now, like I said, Willett's been around quite a while. The distillery itself, Thomas Willett started the distillery in actually 1936. They put their first barrel in the rick house, 1937. Actually, they done it. Their first barrel went in on St. Patrick's Day in 1937. Now, they have produced many things since then, and like I said, the Round Creek version came out in the '90s. And then other things, later things, like the Willett pot still came out like 2008. But Willett pot still is one of my favorites, and I don't know why I just have never got around to trying the Round Creek. So, and just so you guys know, there might be a debate come up and it get mentioned on how I pronounce the name of this, okay? So, you want to look at the name of it, and the only reason I bring this up, so this is Round Creek. It is actually produced in Bardstown, Kentucky, right next to Round Creek. There's actually the name of that creek. I live in Round County, Kentucky, and some people that do not live around here may pronounce this Rowan, but I can tell you from a long history and some Scottish grandmothers may kick somebody if they hear them say Rowan. Most people from the area that it's from, it is not pronounced Rowan. It is pronounced Round, okay? It all runs together, and it's pronounced Round. So, just like this whiskey, the county I'm from, the area this is from, it is pronounced Round. So, if you read this and you pronounce Rowan, I'm sorry, but the people that came up with the name, that's not how you say it. But anyway, so beyond that, so I want to try some Rowan Creek tonight, and I want to try this with you guys and let you know what my take on this is. Like I said, Thomas Willett created the Willett Distillery and got their first barrel in the rick house in 1937. They also, it is produced in Bardstown, Kentucky. So this one also is a straight Kentucky bourbon. This one is in small batches. The Round Creek is in small batches. And let's see, this one here is a 50.05%. So 100 proof, okay? Going to be a little bit warm. Now, some of their other stuff is lower proof as far as that goes. But the Round Creek is 50.05, so just over that 100 proof mark, and we're going to try this out tonight. They're, of course, any bourbon, it's charred in new oak barrels. Let's see, and I'm going to take a look at the back here and see if there's any other significant information on there. Not much else other than, so I'll go ahead and read the back of it for you. Round Creek takes its name from the creek that runs through their little distillery back in the late 1700s. John Round first settled about these parts. Whiskey making was the order of the day. John went on and made a name for himself as a well-respected judge and statesman. The judge is long since gone, but the creek that still bears his name is there, carrying the best limestone spring water that ever was for making bourbon. So that's the great thing about Kentucky when it comes to making bourbon, is the limestone creek water makes a big difference on how these whiskeys taste. And this one, let's see, I know for a fact I love Willett pot still, so I'm hoping that this one I'm going to love as well, but we'll see. All right, but yeah, it's made in Bardstown, Kentucky, and the limestone in Kentucky is what makes some of the bourbon so famous for our state. And that's something that's a big staple here is the bourbon that comes out of Kentucky. The limestone water itself, the water that is filtered by the limestone in the ground makes a big difference in the flavor that creates these bourbons. But all right, so let's try this out and see what we think. Get it opened up here, and yes, I do have skin dew in my sock, and I use it quite often to cut open a new barrel or new bottle of whiskey. So comes in handy for that. All right, guys, let's see what we got here. Get it opened up. Get some fresh glass. Now, like I said, I'm a big fan of the pot still. I know pot still is a wheated bourbon, and does have some cinnamon flavors and some things that I really enjoy about it. So I'm hoping the Round Creek will do the same. Let's find out. So, right off the bat, the flavor or the smells of it, getting some kind of floral notes out of it. Yeah, some of the I think this is very, very similar to their pot still, because even with it being 100 proof, immediately I think, I don't know what their mash bill is, but it's got some spiciness to it. Not quite cinnamon spicy, but definitely get a little bit of spice in there. The caramel flavor is very, very strong in that, and yeah, some floral, very kind of a very strong floral notes in there. For it to be 100 proof, it does not have a very, very, like a real strong burn to it. Actually, very smooth for 100 proof. A lot of times you start hitting that 100 proof mark, and it can have some really big, kind of a good burn as you try to sip on it. But that's not, standing out. So that's a good thing, because something that is too hot, then it's kind of hard to drink and get those flavors that you would like to get out of it. This one seems very mild in that much. but I'll tell you what, it very much reminds me of the pot still flavors. Like I said, I'm a big fan of pot still, and this one actually, even though pot still is not 100 proof, um, so this one kind of, because it's a small batch, actually reminds me a lot of a basically a higher proof pot still flavor, because it does definitely have some spicy notes to it on the taste. Smell, smell has a very, very strong, oakiness in the smell, along with the floral notes in there. And so you guys can see color wise, mid-range. It's not real light. It is aged a few years, so it's not an extremely light. It does have some dark color to it, so you can tell that it has been aged a little bit. It's not like some whiskeys that are only aged a couple years and you don't really get a whole lot of that. You don't get a whole lot from the wood if it's only aged a couple years. But trying to see if there's anything else I can kind of pick up on, being the first time I've had this. Like I said, this is a first time drink for me on the Round Creek. It's really, really good. I would say the biggest difference for me right now that I can tell between this and the pot still, and maybe this is because it's the 100 proof, whereas the pot still, what is it? Pot still is around 94, a little bit less. So this one may have just a little bit stronger burn to it right off the bat, but not like 120, but just a little bit higher, just a teensy bit higher proof in it. But with that, with that little bit higher proof, that adds to that spicy flavor, and with the mouth feel of it is not quite as velvety, because I've drank the pot still, and you get kind of a velvety mouth feel from it. This one you don't really get that. It's trying to think on the back end flavor, or the mouth feel of this one, a little bit stronger. And maybe that's where you're hitting over that 100 proof. Yeah, but the back end flavors on it, I think the initial, that initial spicy flavor goes away, and more of the caramel flavor kind of kicks in on the back end of it. Is what seems to kind of happen for me, and the caramel flavor coming from the oak barrel that it's aged in, so that's good. Definitely got those floral notes going. And of course the vanilla and all that. But the one thing that I really love about the Willett whiskeys is that that cinnamon, without it having an added cinnamon flavor that some whiskeys have. This one is not added, but it really, really stands out that it has, like the pot still, it has a kind of a cinnamon kick to it, and I really like that. That spiciness to it. That's nice. It's not it's not a rye. Now Willett makes a really, really good rye whiskey. This one is not rye, but it has just enough in it that it gives it a very nice kind of kick to the sip as you're drinking it. Then that's nice. So, yep. Oh man, that is. I'll tell you what. For my first drink of the Round Creek, I'm I'm thinking I love it. I like I said, I already love pot still. Um, this one is very, very comparable to pot still. I think Willett as a bourbon itself is kind of underrated as far as I don't see a whole lot mentioned about it, and I think it's kind of overlooked a lot of times on the flavor profile that it has. I think that it is very, very enjoyable as far as a whiskey, and I think that you know um, it's not so complex that someone can't sip on it and you know um, and not enjoy it. I think that I wouldn't use it for mixers. I think alone and neat that it's just fine. Um, I think you should enjoy this one the way it comes out the bottle. I could sit and sip on this one all night. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely give this one a thumbs up. I mean, man, that is great. It's for it to be a 50.5%, just over, so it's 101 proof, then absolutely it's not going to burn you. But at the same time, I think you would be able to enjoy the flavors that are in this. You've got the uh, sweetness from the caramel flavors coming in there, the floral notes from the smell. You got the spiciness from maybe get some cinnamon flavors in on that, and uh, you know the caramel kind of comes in on the back end. It's maybe not as velvety in the mouthfeel, kind of dry on the mouthfeel when you sip on it, but at the same time, you get the flavors that you absolutely um, would enjoy. That's kind of my thing. If you get this one, you're going to enjoy the flavors and you're not going to be disappointed. Again, tonight, I'm talking about some Round Creek, uh, and it is aged, bottled, and distilled by the Willett Company. Okay, there you go. Like I said, this is a 50.5%, so 101 proof bourbon from Bardstown, Kentucky. If you get a chance, you can even go to the Willett Distillery in Bardstown and get to see all the different things. Now, they have a long list of things that Willett makes that a lot of people probably don't know about. A lot of people probably don't even know they've been around as long as they have. Like I said, their first barrel went into the rick house in 1937. They right at the they just 3 years after Prohibition, ended, they broke ground and created the Willett Distillery. John Willett um, is one that went. I think John Willett is one that went over to other countries to learn how to distill and learn how to create his whiskey. Of course, later on, Thompson Willett is one that actually went on to create the company itself and create the distillery that they have. So, this one has been around since the 90s. I had not tried it. It had been on the shelf, and, I've been a person that loves the pot still for many years. Had not tried the Round Creek. But I can tell you, I think the Round Creek is definitely going to be one that I'll make sure to keep on my shelf because it is absolutely an enjoyable flavors. Like I said, I mean, just all around the aromas of it, the initial flavors. I get some cinnamons out of there, and then a little bit dry on the mouth feel, but at 101 proof, does not burn in any way. Very, very, very good. There you have it, folks. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I can definitely tell it's over that 100 proof mark, but it's not a burn, a feel, or nothing of that. It's just that I can tell that that I'm a little bit higher proof than with the pot still. But still, with regards to that, very good bourbon. If you get a chance, try use some Round Creek, and let me know what you guys think. Okay. So tonight, been sipping on Round Creek Willett pot still. There you go. Okay. And like I said, this one is 50.05, so 101 proof. Here we go. Let me know what you guys think if you get to try it out, and if you like it. So if you do like it, let me know in the comments if you've had that. If you're going to try it, also let me know. I'd appreciate that. And if you like this content, please make sure and hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know what you think. All right. With that being said, guys, getting ready to cut this one down, and maybe even pour me another little glass of this Round Creek and enjoy it. All right. That being said, as always, Puddin loves you. Peace out.